Today, we're going to discuss how we can better equip young people with the tools they need to learn how to make healthful living decisions.
So I know it was a long time ago, but let's think back to our first year of high school. Now, I remember my BAS team really fondly remembers it. We were so beautiful, so young, so full of hope. But I especially remember my first year of high school because it was a time when I got to adult all over the place. I could decide what I wanted to eat for lunch. I could suddenly be someone's girlfriend. I could drink if I wanted to. I could go to parties. There were all these decisions I could suddenly make, and that was really exciting to me. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I didn't actually know the consequences of the decisions I was making.
And Persis isn't alone in that, and that's actually why health education is required. It's a place where students can get the tools that they need to learn about the impacts of their decisions. And that's why it's also required not only in the state of North Carolina, but across the United States as well.
Unfortunately, though, these classes are often not really that up to date or very efficient or effective. I remember my first health class in my 9th grade year, we were reading a textbook from the 80s, and there were pictures of people in tube socks and funny hairdos, and it was really entertaining, but the dry text didn't really grab my attention, and I didn't really learn anything. How many people in here have taken a 9th grade health class? Please raise your hand. I imagine most people. How many of you thought it was actually effective? Okay, well, that's the problem we want to change.
So if we really think about it, the purpose of health education, as I previously said, is a place where people get to learn about the impacts of their health decisions. So should be a place where students learn the impacts of what they decide to eat, or whether or not they choose to have sex or drink. I mean, if you really think about it, school is a place where we bring kids to use their brains, but they never get a chance to learn anything about them.
And that's really a tragedy, Dorothy, because the issue with that is that brain health and body health are cyclic. So when we think about how we make decisions, we make a decision about our health, and that ultimately affects our body health. But what we don't think about is the fact that that body health then goes back and actually affects the way our brain works, or our brain health. And if we have decreased brain health, then we have the inability to make better decisions in the future. So brain health and body health are tied. But right now, in current 9th grade health curriculums, they only teach you about body health and not how we can keep a healthy brain. So we want to change that with this neuroscience curriculum by teaching students both about neuroscience concepts and about how they can apply these concepts to have better brain health, because the two are definitely intertwined.
So the principal investigators of our team, Dr. Wilkie Wilson and Dr. Cynthia Kuhn, created a curriculum in which we attempt to bridge the connections between healthful living decisions and its impact on the brain. This new curriculum is currently being piloted in 2 schools in Wake County, North Carolina. It covers topics such as growth versus fixed mindset, and it also covers things such as what is a neuron, or action potential, and how it works. And the hope is that by including these concepts in this new curriculum, we can attempt to bridge that gap and students can learn more about the impacts specifically related to their brains about their decisions.
So as Dorothy mentioned, we do have this curriculum currently being rolled out in pilot testing. So we went to the teachers who are actually teaching the curriculum and asked them how they felt about it, and also did some teacher observations of their classrooms. And we found out that many health teachers are truly terrified of neuroscience content, especially the hard science. In addition to that, they have a lot of difficulty finding time for professional training developments, and it's very difficult to take time out of their day. So using all the knowledge we learned about what it was like for these teachers, we used this to decide to create an online curriculum where we could have anyone geographically based able to access it, as well as them to be able to do it in a self-paced way. So we created a template of this online curriculum, which Dorothy will now go over.
Okay, so on the screen above, you'll see essentially a home screen, and it'll include a video, and the video will go over key concepts necessary for the module. Following the video, there'll be a series of questions. The questions will be a great place for teachers to be introduced to this material in a very non-threatening way so that they'll have some exposure prior to teaching the class in the fall. Underneath the questions will be another section called Fun Fact, a place that's not necessarily meant for critical learning, but mainly to kind of just garner the attention of the teacher, a place where we'll include small blurbs about a woman in science or debunk certain myths. And we'll also include places where teachers can download additional materials such as a verbatim transcript or a PowerPoint needed for teaching the class later on.
And in conclusion, we think that this is all really important because we do believe that knowing neuroscience content and knowing how to have a healthy brain specifically will really improve students' health. And we leave you with these 2 questions. 1, how important is your brain's health? And 2, if carpenters are taught how to use their saws effectively, why aren't students taught how to use their brains effectively? Thank you.
Thank you.